In this case, I'm deeply impressed. I wasn't expecting that this car will have so precise and perfect chassis adjustment, chassis tuning, so good handling. Of course, the dynamics, I was assuming it will be very good because actually it's a very powerful car. And it's actually a budget SUV. Some models, actually many models on the Chinese market will be killed by this one, especially the BYD Tang L DM, because this car drives better and costs much cheaper. Price for this 5-meter SUV starts from $25,000 in China. It's a tall, well-equipped car. With the battery of 35 kilowatt hours, it can do more than 200 kilometers of pure electric range per one charge easily. I still haven't mentioned anything about the handling and driving of this car. I already performed the test drive. Handling and driving is the strongest probably point of this budget, huge hybrid SUV. Today we will make, as always, detailed review, talk about equipment, about technical specifications, of course prices, and how to order this car. Please push the like button if you like my video, subscribe and stay tuned. We start from the body. This is a 5-meter length SUV with the wheelbase of 2.92 meters. It's really a huge car, very spacious inside. The carb weight of this car starts from 2.2 with something kilograms for a single motor version, actually a single axle drive version, up to 2.5 tons for the top match with 2 electric motors, 1 internal combustion engine, 4-wheel drive, and of course the biggest battery. The body itself is made of steel almost in 100%. All the inside internal panels, all the body crates, all the body strengthening panels and crates made of steel, but the aluminum is used here actually not basically for lighting the car, but for using in the deformative beams, for example in the door seals, to absorb the energy of the heating during the accident. One more thing I would like to pay your attention to are these wheel arches, wheel fenders. Basically, this is a plastic parts for the rear fender and for the front fender exactly same, which in my opinion should be a very practical thing. This is plastic. In case of small accidents, it's very difficult to damage the metal parts, which are of course more expensive to exchange or paint. You can just paint or exchange these huge plastic fenders. This is good idea in my opinion. Now we talk about the technical specification. We start from the internal combustion engine, and all the versions have the only one single internal combustion engine, which is 1.5 turbo. This is the BYD 472 ZQB. This engine is used in many other models, such as for example BYD Han DM or Tang DM. So this is already the engine which proved by the experience of other users. The maximum power here is 156 horsepower. The maximum torque is 225 Newton meters. All that is connected with the front wheels by the eCVT transmission, same as in most of other hybrid BYD cars, same as in Toyota Prius. This is basically a planetar gear. To one part of it we have connected the internal combustion engine, to other part of it we have connected the electric motor. So typical, very reliable, probably the best option how you can make the dual mode drive in a car. Now it's time to tell you about the electric motor. The front electric motor of the 2-wheel drive front-wheel drive version and 4-wheel drive version is not the same. In the 2-wheel drive version, it is more powerful. It is 200 kilowatts of peak power, which is 272 horsepower. And in the 4-wheel drive version, the front electric motor is just 160 kilowatts, which is about 218 horsepower. Nevertheless, even with a single motor and 2-wheel drive, this car is pretty fast, with the acceleration from 0 to 100 in 7.5 to 7.9 seconds, depending on the version. At the same time, I would tell you that if you combine the power of the internal combustion engine, 156 horsepower, and the power of electric motor, 272 horsepower, you will get more than 400 horsepower in total. But probably this power will never get to the front wheels in total, because the system just will not allow it. It's not adjusted to make it. The rear electric motor, in case we have it, has the maximum peak power of 200 kilowatts, which is 272 horsepower. The comprehensive power of the electric system in this case will be 490 horsepower and the torque will be 620 Newton meters. Add here also the power of internal combustion engine and you will get more than 600 horsepower in this car. All that allows to accelerate from 0 to 100 in a four-wheel drive car for just 4.5 seconds. And the carb weight here is 2.5 tons. By the way, the top speed for this car is 190 kilometers per hour, which is pretty good for a hybrid car. And also, because this is a parallel hybrid, this car can maintain the speed for a long time. Battery is the key factor for any hybrid car. In this one, we have everything good with batteries. The first option is the smaller battery with 26.6 kilowatt hours of the capacity. It's taken directly from cheaper BYD cars like BYD Song L DMI or BYD Song Plus DMI, the same voltage of the system, about 330 volts. With this battery, the car can achieve 105 kilometers by single charge by the WLTC cycle and 135 kilometers by the CLTC cycle. This battery can be equipped, can be put in only one single version, the basic front-wheel drive version, which is actually exactly this one on the video. All other three versions, including one two-wheel drive car and two four-wheel drive cars, has the 35.6 kilowatt hours battery, which is amazing in its market segment, amazing in its price. It can give you up to 200 kilometers in two-wheel drive version and up to 190 kilometers in four-wheel drive version by CLTC cycle per single charge, which is of course extremely good. All the batteries by default are BYD blade batteries, lithium ferrum phosphate chemistry, has liquid cooling and heating, which is actually pretty obvious. And all the batteries has the ability to give you power using the V2L from this AC port. Also it has of course DC port. The V2L power is up to 6 kilowatts of maximum power. And by the way, the DC charging capacity of both batteries is not same. The smaller battery can take only up to 54 kilowatts and the bigger battery can take up to 72 kilowatts from the DC charging station, which is actually pretty important. Now it's time to tell you about the versions of this car, and totally we have 4 of them. The first one is called Pro. It has front-wheel drive and the smallest 26.6 kilowatt hours battery. Then we have the front-wheel drive Max with actually the biggest battery and the biggest pure electric range. The next one is also Max, but it has the four-wheel drive with the biggest 35.6 kilowatts hour battery. And the final one is the Ultra, is actually the same as Max, but several options added. Let me show you if we can define them by appearance somehow. Basically, the first 3 versions look exactly same. We have same 19-inch wheels, only the top version has 20-inch wheels. We all have, in first 3 versions, we have the D-Link 100 Autopilot system, which doesn't have the LiDAR on the roof. Its work is based on the cameras and other sensors. But the fourth version, actually has the LiDAR and has the D-Link 300 Autopilot system. You will see this car on the test drive today, and that car actually has the Autopilot on the level of the leaders of the market, which works pretty perfect. This huge openable panoramic sunroof with electric sunshade is by default in all the versions. But if you order the drone option to your car, then you will not have it. You will have just a normal, pretty small sunroof. The whole roof will be made of metal sheet, and this drone option costs about 2,400 USD based on today's exchange rate. Despite this is lowest basic version, we have almost same features from appearance that the highest version have. This backpack we have with extra about 60 liters of the storage. We have also the tinted windows. In the back windows, by default, no need extra money. We have these roof railings which are powerful, no need extra money as well. We have multi-layered soundproof glass in the front doors. We of course have the blind spot monitoring and camera 360, which is by default in the D-Link 100 Autopilot system. Amazing for that price. Traditionally for Fangchengbao Thai cars, they have a backpack instead of spare tire. This backpack is pretty controversial for me because actually it's pretty big, but the space inside is not very convenient, it's not so huge, it's about 60 liters or something with gas struts and so on. But it's still very good that we have it because Using the system of fastening, which was designed for this backpack, we can also attach here a normal spare tire. Yes, maybe for Thai 7 it's still not on sale because actually it's only aftermarket parts, but for Thai 3 we have this system already on sale. It costs very cheap and you can just have a full-size spare tire on the fifth door of your car. Now let's open this trunk, and of course we don't have any electric drive, but we have the electric suction door in all versions. So the trunk, here the total volume is 1000 liters. If you fold the seats, you have the flat floor, and then the total volume is more than 2000 liters. The very nice thing which is important for me is this 220 volts socket, which is by default even in the basic version, which is extremely good. We also have this niche under the false floor where normally the factory set of accessories like the tire repair kit, like the factory charger is placed. Basically you can take out this massive organizer and you will have something like that. This is some controller with liquid cooling, as I understand. We have sound insulation mats. The sound insulation in this car is purely amazing. Generally, yeah, it's pretty shallow. The infography you can see now on your screens, but still the car is practical because it's still a huge SUV and the shape of everything is very geometric, very square. We don't have here any soft trim, but even in the lowest version, despite it's not the highest level of audio system, we have the subwoofer in the trunk. If you are worried that the full-size spare tire may damage or harm your hinges, you are not right, because these hinges are super massive, and even in case after 10 or 15 years of usage they will be worn out, it's probably about 20 minutes to change them because they are completely on bolts. Finally, we go to the interior and you will not believe this. All the versions by default leather-covered steering wheel with heating. Moreover, here we have natural leather on all the versions. The seats covered with natural leather. The seat heating and seat ventilation of the front seats by default in all versions. Massage of the front seats is a paid option which costs 400 RMB, which is about 600 United States dollars, but now you get it totally for free in all the cars. It's kind of promotion for now. Also, the zero gravity seat is paid. I think it costs around 3000 RMB, but for now it's for free in all versions. The interior is amazing. It's very high quality, no cracking noise, nothing. Everything is literally perfect. Some small cracking noise only from these plastic deflector covers. The ergonomy is nothing to talk about because it's a typical BYD. The only thing here which may be unusual for someone is that you would like to put the steering wheel a little bit higher because this is its highest position, but when you put the seat to the lowest position, it is still okay. We have 15.6 inches central screen in all the versions with very traditional menu. And here let me show you something about the equipment. First of all, this car doesn't have the Union menu because this is the basic version. This is the only version which doesn't have the variable suspension function. Also, this is the version which has 14 speakers, same as all other versions, but the top one has 20 speakers. Basically, this is the whole difference among the equipment in all the versions. Here we have 50 watts wireless charger, 2 slots. Here we have the 26 inches HUD screen. Here we have soft cover of the panel. The doors, by the way, also soft cover, except the lower part of the door. Everything assembled extremely nice. The view is extremely nice. A lot of physical buttons. Generally, it's completely perfect interior with very informative gauges, same as in all other BYD. In the left side of it, you have the trip computer with all the energy consumption, with the tire pressure monitoring system, with the cumulative energy consumption, and so on. And in the right part, you can have the navigation screen, or you can have the audio, the multimedia screen, or you can have the speed limit, or you can have the acceleration timer right here. This is the traditional BYD menu, and it is obvious for anyone who used BYD before. We also have this medium-sized glove box and of course some charging ports. By the way, in the top version here we will have the thermo box with the possibility to change the temperature from -6 degrees Celsius to +50. But in this particular car we have just the armrest with a kind of glove box in it. I am now at the second row and you will not believe what we have here. Starting from the basic version, by default, we have rear seat heating and ventilation. Just imagine, without any extra fee. We also have the rear 2-zone climate control. So basically, this car has the 4-zone climate control by default in all versions. I can't believe that. We also have the adjustment of the backrest for the second row. And in this particular car, it's electric. Electric is an option. You should pay for it about 2,000 RMB or 300 United States dollars. But currently, it's also for free because it's a promotion, same as the massage and the zero gravity seats. The rear seat is extremely comfortable. The seat cushion is long, the floor is low. We have more space here than in Leopard 5 because it's not a frame-based SUV. I have half of meter of space over my head. I have half of meter space in front of my knees. I have very low floor. It's extremely nice car. I have also these slots for the tablets here, which can be inserted and used for kids. This is not even 10 out of 10, this is 12 out of 10. And now we talk about the suspension. The front suspension is a premium suspension. It's a double wishbone aluminum suspension, which will be not super cheap in repairs, but ensures super nice handling. Here we have the ground clearance of 214 millimeters under this front plastic chassis or engine cover. And this is the lowest ground clearance across the whole car. Even in the middle of the car, it will be already better. Like this, under the battery, we have 264 millimeters. We have here the exhaust pipe on the right side of the car, and this is a classical battery position, not the cell-to-body technology. Here we have the rear multi-link suspension, and here the ground clearance is actually much bigger. Just look under these levers. We have already, I think somewhere here, we have already 400 millimeters somewhere here. How is possible? Yeah, no. Under these levers we have 229 millimeters. 5-link rear suspension. Here we have the stainless steel exhaust system. Everything is pretty obvious. I assume this subframe is used for four-wheel drive car as well. It's worth mentioning that all the versions except the basic one has the Union C adaptive shock absorbers, which can be changed in terms of stiffness and softness. But this basic version has completely classical normal shock absorbers. Today, the best showroom of Fangchengbao in our city allowed us to make test drive of this Thai 7 top version with 20-inch wheels with LiDAR, the highest match, and of course it's four-wheel drive. Thank you for our partner showroom. Let's see how this car actually drives. So now we are driving the Thai 7 and I am totally amazed. It is much better than I expected. First of all, in terms of suspension. The suspension here, as you know, it's adaptive suspension Union C with changeable softness and stiffness of the shock absorbers. And even in the sport mode, it's extremely comfortable. It deals with all the road imperfections in the best way which I can only imagine. And the most important, compared to many other big BYD models and also Fangchengbao models, it doesn't have the heavy unsuspended masses feeling. I don't know how they did it in this car, but this suspension, I think, is the best out of all big BYDs. At least this is my first impression. The handling of the car is perfect in my opinion as well. Surprisingly, even in the comfort mode of the steering wheel, we can adjust it somewhere here. Yeah, even in comfort mode of the steering assist, actually the steering wheel has very clear zero and is pretty heavy in a good sense of it. The next is, of course, acceleration. We have here totally more than 600 horsepower. We have more than 700 Newton meters if combine all the total power from the ICE motor and the two EV motors. And of course, yes, this car is fast. It's definitely fast. It is a sport mode, but this car also has the Sport Plus mode, when the ICE engine will go even to the higher RPMs and when it will start working from the 0 kilometers per hour. Ergonomy is very nice. These mirrors I taken directly from the Fangchengbao 5 and Fangchengbao 8, which are bigger models. Well, they are more adult models. They are actually not even some of them longer, but still the view in the mirrors, the view everywhere is extremely nice. The ergonomy is a typical BYD ergonomy. Everything is very clear, a lot of physical buttons, that is obvious. The hood is being seen in a very nice way. The hood has very nice shape, feels extremely solid and tough. And at the same time, yeah, very fast. Very fast car. Now we can test the Autopilot system, which is based on D-Link 300 version, which is the only one D-Link 300 version of Thai 7. The other three versions have D-Link 100. This is the first time I am driving the BYD car with D-Link 300 with the LiDAR system. Before I drive the Tang L, but there the system was not activated. And this is fully navigation guided, fully autonomous driving system. I have not been touching the steering wheel for past 3 kilometers. The car recognizes the traffic lights with D-Link 300, with D-Link 100 it cannot do that. And basically it is already the same level which the leaders of the industry gives you, like Aviator, like Tesla and so on. The car can overtake with turning on the turning signal. The car can even horn by itself. I know it went from the lower models of BYD. Now you see I don't interfere at all, and we make pretty complicated turnings and so on. I can adjust the speed right here, and while the car will be on highway at pretty high speed, let me show you that this car is extremely quiet. So at 60 we have lower than 60 decibel. We have only about 62 decibel. It's really quiet car. The only thing you hear a little bit is the sound from the tires. So as you see now, the car changes line completely by itself, changing the direction completely, no problem. I don't interfere at all. Now we will accelerate in the timer mode. You can do it only in sport, not sport plus mode. Let's do. It's very fast. It's very fast. And the timer showed us 5.0, before it was 4.9. It's just from the first time the car does the specification number of acceleration from 0 to 100, which is amazing, and it's very hot today, which is not good for the internal combustion turbo engine. Now we talk about the energy consumption, and basically in the past 50 kilometers, which was of course very active, it was 13.2 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, 6.3 liters, and the total is 10 liters per 100. But this is the heavy test drive conditions. If we go to the cumulative energy consumption for the whole life of the car, which already made almost 2,600 kilometers, it's 13 kilowatt hours and 3.6 liters. It means the car was charged pretty often, and that's why the petrol consumption is basically so low. I expected a lot from this car. First of all, I expected good equipment, spacious interior, latest and approved technologies from BYD. Also, I expected very good price, and finally the price is really extremely good. But I didn't expect this car will be so nice on the road. The handling, the suspension, the sound insulation is extremely good. It's much better than in many competitors which are much more expensive. This literally shocked me. If any of you will drive this car one day, you will understand me for sure. Now let's talk about the equipment's colors. This car has 7 colors from factory, which is the biggest amount among all the Fangchengbao. This car also has 3 interior options, and this car has very good export price. We already have several cars in stock. Please contact me. All the contact information under this video. We can export this car to any country of the world. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel, push the like button, share this video please. I will be very happy if you leave any comment as well. My name is Denis. See you soon at my next videos.